Hello. This video demonstration is to demonstrate the electronic medical record and data analytics platform used by Community Empowerment currently in Haiti with plans to be used in the Dominican Republic. We'll start with the electronic medical record. The electronic medical record uses a program called Bahmni. Bahmni is an open source software program. This means it does not need a license to configure any decoding. This allows for easy customization to meet the needs of any user. The current electronic medical record that's being used in Haiti and proposed to be used in the Dominican Republic is used for serving patients in the environments of primary care or outpatient care. Provider visits, laboratory, and pharmacy are all combined into the software, allowing for a streamlined, comprehensive user experience. While this video demonstration is in English, the electronic medical record that will be deployed in the Dominican Republic will be both available in Spanish and in English. This will be the same electronic medical record, but the user's preferences may be changed at the login screen, allowing for either Spanish or in English with the same patient records. We'll start with registration. This is the first tab within an electronic medical record. Patients who are currently seen or who have a chart within here can be searched for. Otherwise, new patients can be created. When creating a new patient, the only required information is the patient's name, gender, and age. Additional demographic information may also be added though, however. Additionally, a photo may be added to the patient's chart. This photo may be taken with any computer screen, tablet, or phone, which all are compatible with running the electronic medical record. Other functionality of the electronic medical record before we jump into clinic visits are programs. Programs allow us to establish cohorts or groups within a patient population that segregate them into a subpopulation. Radiology imaging or paper patient documents can also be uploaded to each patient chart, and additionally some reporting functionality. However, more advanced data analytics technology is used with our data analytics platform called Tableau. We'll start with clinical. This is where the majority of the work is done by the provider, by those doing vital signs within the intake with the patient, and the pharmacy. This is the patient dashboard. This is a patient who has been already created and already has had visits. We can see that their vitals from the previous visits are here on the left. If we want to click on another date, we can open the vitals of those other times. History and examination notes from previous visits are here on the left, with the addition of previous ones as well. Their diagnoses are here on the top right. Their treatments, what medications they're on, whether they belong in a program, currently the patient is not in a program, and nutritional values, in other words, their height or their weight. We'll start by opening a visit for this patient. When a patient is first seen in intake, their vital signs are taken. I'll start by adding some vital signs in. Not all this information is necessary to be placed in, meaning the user can continue with the visit without filling in all the fields. All these fields are free text. Any numerical values can be added. All the tabs here that the provider uses are on the left side. The history and examination section, where the provider will do most of their interviewing and history taking, is done here. Within the problems list, many problems are already placed in the autofilled field. So for example, if a patient complains of a headache, I can add that in, and I can see that headache is available. If, however, the patient has another problem that isn't in autofield, that can be added. So for example, if the patient says that they're there to have their blood pressure checked, I may add blood pressure check. By hitting accept, I can go on. All history notes are placed here, their allergies, their smoking history, their physical examination notes, and their assessment and plan. Additionally, should it assist in documenting the patient's physical exam, images can be added as well. While I won't add any images at this time, I will demonstrate in the dashboard how that may look. Other tabs are available here on the left. While history and examination is the primary tab, other more specialized or customized tabs can be used as well. For example, a second set of vitals can be added. This is ideal for a patient who has had, for example, a high blood pressure that's been treated in clinic that wants to be rechecked as part of that same encounter, or as a secondary set to be checked by the provider. This is identical to the previous page in history and exam, or in vitals. These next two templates were templates that were customized in Bahmni to serve the needs of community empowerment. Cardiovascular studies is a study that's being used to understand the effects of hypertension and heart disease. Vaccination history, while this is all free text, can be added in here as well. Laboratory studies, while the laboratory studies that are used by community empowerment are all at the point of care of the patient, those results can be added in here. Vaginal discharge study, another study being conducted by community empowerment, is a customized template that's used to document patients who complain about vaginal discharge. This will be further looked at in the data analytics platform, but all the information can be added here. The ECHO study, which is similar to cardiovascular studies, is another customized template that was requested by community empowerment. These templates are easily customizable and can be added here to the left. Finally, the community survey. A community survey that is another customized template that's being used by community empowerment in the Jerusalem community in Haiti. To continue, I'm just going to go back for a refresher back to history and exam. The patient's complaints are placed up here, their physical exam notes, and then your assessment and plan. Their diagnoses, which are important to place in for reporting and data analytics, can be added here. So for example, this patient complained for a blood pressure check. While their blood pressure that was recorded was not a high blood pressure, I'm going to put that this patient has a history of hypertension. Multiple diagnoses can be added as well. Finally, medications. We see that this patient is currently on medications. Clotrimazole, which was used to treat a rash, Norvasc for high blood pressure, and Tylenol. If me, as the next provider seeing this patient, would like to continue any of these medications, I can easily hit refill, and that patient will have that sent over to the pharmacy. I'm going to do that for Tylenol. Additionally, if I want to add any new medications, I can do that. I like to add ibuprofen. Ibuprofen, I'm going to say that the patient is to take 1 tablet every 6 hours for a total of 10 days, and to be taken PRN or as needed, and adding that medication. When I go back to the patient dashboard, I can see that my visit is here available. While we did not chart very much, we'll take a look at other visits to see other charting. This was a visit that was done yesterday. The patient complained of a headache and a rash. In your history notes, I placed the reason why the patient was there, the assessment and plan, their diagnosis, how to treat it, and a photo of the physical exam. I'm going to click on a photo to enlarge it to see the resolution. I can initially see the current treatments that the patient is on. We have added the drug Advil or ibuprofen and their diagnoses. To dispense their medications, I'm going to head back to the home screen. The pharmacy conducts in the same clinical tab. However, instead of clicking on the patient in the active tab, I'm going to click on the drug orders tab. We can see that the patient John Doe, who we previously saw, has drug orders. He has a total of 5 drug orders to be filled. By clicking on this, I go back to the same screen that's used to order medication by the provider. The pharmacist or those working in a pharmacy can take a look and see what medications were ordered. When they are filled, they can hit the dispense button. Each D corresponds to each medication. However, if all want to be filled, they can hit dispense all. After doing that and saving, I can see that the patient's medications were filled. I now have 0 drug orders and 1 drug suspense. The pharmacy will always utilize this interface to do all their work. Drug orders as their inbox and drug suspense as their outbox. I will now be demonstrating the data analytics platform used by a program called Tableau. Tableau is not an open source software. It is a licensed software that's used. However, it's customizable to provide data that is interactive and customized. I'll start with overview. This overview tab shows a lot of information that is pertinent to the care being done. The first gives a number of how many patients are seen on day of the week. These numbers are very high because they include all the trips that were there. However, these can be filtered over here. So for example, if I change to look at a specific date range, I may do so, and that data will change. This is where that data is interactive. We can see that that data has changed between the dates of July 8th, 2018 and September 4th, 2018. Looking back at the complete date range, I can see the total number of visits, the total numbers of problems addressed, the total number of diagnoses, and total number of prescriptions that were placed. I may further assess the different prevalence of different diagnoses, from the most prevalent to the least prevalent. Patient demographics are available by how many adults and pediatric patients were seen, in addition to females and males. Top prescribed medications are available as well. If I want to include more medications, I may do so by adding those. All this data is again filterable by not only the date range, but also the gender and the age group. How next into targeted metrics. This is where the program really shows its functionality and how customizable it is. One targeted metric by Community Empowerment is hypertension patients. So by categorizing those patients into stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 hypertension, we may see the prevalence. We may also understand how many number of medicines are typically prescribed for these medications. Over time, we can see from a big picture how hypertension is affecting the community, if it's becoming more prevalent of a problem or less prevalent. Just like the overview page, this can be filtered by gender, by age group, or by select dates. Productivity, another tab, provides similar information to the overview. Provides the total number of visits, the patients, and how many different diagnostic tests were done, as well as positive diagnostic testing. We may see, now this is a high number of visits, we can see how many patients were seen by each provider. Each color corresponds to a different provider. We may also see by the day how many problems and diagnoses were done. To make this a little less overwhelming, I'm going to make a much smaller date range to see this. We may see between the 17th of December 2017 and February 20th, 2018, how many patients were seen by day, and also there's additionally less providers that were seeing these patients because of the smaller date range. Continuing into research. This is for the vaginal discharge template that was previously demonstrated in Bahmni. I'm going to go back to that very quickly because this is a great way to see the functionality of both the programs together. By going into the vaginal discharge study template in electronic medical record, if a patient is a candidate for the study, the information will be completed in the template. After that, all that information is completed, Data dumps are done from the electronic medical record, and that data is migrated into Tableau. Here's where we can see that data from a big picture. We can see the number of patients that complained about vaginal discharge and the number of diagnoses that were made. We can furthermore understand if there's any research to be done with each provider. We can see how many times a provider diagnosed vaginal discharge and how many times it was part of their chief complaint. This is to further look at individual patients. However, all this data may be de-identified so that it may be shared without any risks to breaching patient privacy. Finally, repeat patients can be better understood as well. We can take a look at and see how often patients are following up for their visits and how many patients are being seen that are new. I hope that this video demonstration was helpful to demonstrate both the electronic medical record and data analytics platform used by Community Empowerment. Thank you.